Yeah, just overall.
And handlock.
And handlock. That actually be, I don't know. It might be a cool format to like ban out specific cards, but it'd be strictly a fun format, I think. It'd have to be really refined to be a competitive format.
Unless it's built into the game client itself.
Yeah. But you guys could definitely let us know what you think about our format. We're trying it out, trying something new.
Let us know at ESL Hearthstone or at AzumoQT. Is that your Twitter?
That is.
Or you can let me know at Frodan. Also, you can yell at us if we're being too distracting about the game, because there is a Hearthstone game amidst all of our very random comments.
Yep. Or you could just tell us how you feel, just in general.
Well, tell TJ, more importantly, tell TJ it's okay to feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great movie, Equilibrium.
Insert plug. Thank you.
They didn't even sponsor me to do that.
Christian Bale's right behind him right now, holding a knife to his throat.
I would not mind that.
I'm sure
That's
you
my
wouldn't.
novel. Would you like to read my novel?
No. I'm sure your novel feels a lot like Control Warrior.
It reads faster than a Control Warrior game, let me tell you that.
Alright, well, back into this one. Autopilot for the first couple turns of Warrior vs. Handlock.
I mean, she's thinking about decisions like, does she coin out the Drake next turn if she doesn't draw things, you know, and like, oh my god, did you know the Ironbeak Owl eyes glow? That is creepy as
Wow.
hell. Whoa.
Look at that. Yellow to green. That's incredible.
Why won't my owls do that?
Your Ironbeak Owls?
No.
Your regular owls.
My regular owls.
Oh, you know what, man? I don't even know. Might want to bring them to a...
Blizzard, my owls, my pet owls' eyes won't glow.
Blizzard,
please. Wait, is she really thinking about not tapping? Uh-oh. Was there an internet connection issue? Wait, what's going on here? There might be some kind of an issue. Depends on how things are, because that is very weird that she didn't do anything.
Mousing over the cards, unless that's our spectator.
That is our admin.
Okay.
My admin's also my roommate. I'm surprised he didn't go check on our owls.
Guys, I'll be right back. I've never checked if their eyes glow.
Wait, let me turn off the lights. Well, sometimes it does, actually.
Wait, sometimes your owl's eyes glow?
No, if you turn off the lights, you can like see birds' eyes and cat's eyes and stuff. It's pretty creepy. Yeah, it looks like there might be some issue that we have to get resolved here. Either that or Trump really doesn't know if he wants to armor up here.
Yeah. Well, might as well fire off the rocket.
Sound the alarm! Self-destruction.
Mayday.
Initiation.
Mayday! I wish I was in that rocket.
Okay. Well, it looks like she might have reconnected to the game.
Or not.
Uh-oh. Oh, man! Okay. So
well, that caught us by surprise.
That game was very weird. I think there was some kind of connection issues, for sure. And we'll probably make sure to get that okay. In the end, the tap didn't really matter. It's all about whether or not the tap would have allowed them play like the Farseer. So if she tapped on turn 2, that Farseer could have been out on turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
That actually can change a little bit of outcome of shield slams, which leads to removal, which leads to some other stuff. So there might have to be some ruling on that. But it is an issue that sometimes happens. Magicamy's playing from Korea, fun fact. She lives there at the moment, I believe. And Trump's playing from the very exotic Bay Area of California.
Okay. Well, it looks like they're going to decide to actually continue playing.
Okay.
So
a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
That it didn't work out. But I suppose that's okay because Trump drew the Fiery War Axe, so the outcome would have been about neutral. Not to mention that he doesn't have Shield Slam, so it's about doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And I'm sure they. I'm not sure if it went down to like Amy's choice or if it went down since no cards were played, or if it was an admin's decision. Yeah. So both players. We just got word. Both players gave the okay to continue with the game. So I guess Magicamy weighed her hand and said, I guess it didn't really impact me that much. So
Sure.
Onwards.
Well, Trump has the perfect answer here to the Drake. But it's all about how does Warrior run out of answers? Does the handlock player seize the initiative on the board?
In a way, it feels good to execute a Drake like that, but in also a way, it feels bad.
All right. What do you mean?
Because you're using a Cruel Taskmaster and an Execute to just get rid of a Twilight Drake. You're not really extending your board that much.
Well, I suppose it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's any other option.
You traded 1 for 1. It's not like you lost a Cruel Taskmaster.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still a 2/2 body.
But I feel like the value of a Cruel Taskmaster could extend beyond just...
It is, because if Lotheb comes down, you use the Fiery War Axe plus the Cruel Taskmaster. So here's the thing. Cruel Taskmaster did 1 damage. And then he did 2 damage to Lotheb, and then gained you a life. That's pretty reasonable for 2 mana.
True.
How does that make you feel?
I don't feel. I refuse to feel.
It's still pretty good. It's still functional.
Yeah. I'm sure there's an argument against what you just said, but I don't think I'm smart enough to make it. So I'm gonna say, good job, Prodan.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
My thanks. Well, this is pretty much what's expected at this point. Just use the Fiery War Axe. I like getting as much value out of the Fiery War Axe too. And he keeps the second Cruel Taskmaster. Now, if you said everything you did and said second Cruel Taskmaster, like the last one in your deck, because you can't have more than 2, then I completely understand your point. It'd be very difficult to like part ways with it.
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming at times to use multiple cards to get rid of one thing, especially against handlock when like the card advantage is like staring you in the face.
Right.
Like when you're sitting there using 2 cards for their 1 card, and then they draw 2 cards next turn, and have 10 cards to your 5 cards. You can sometimes feel like a little bit uneasy about the situation. But you brought up great arguments.
Well, yeah.
You can't look at it as, wow, he's got so many cards and I don't have many cards. I can't use many cards to get rid of his not many cards.
Well, handlock's gonna draw cards. There's just no ways about it. The only way you can stop handlock from drawing cards is to like be so aggressive that they feel like they can't tap, like aggressive hunter.
Yeah. You can sometimes do that as warrior, but usually it comes a lot later in the game, like an early Alexstrasza.
Well, Trump's gonna line up both his armor smiths, and hopefully these armor smiths don't snipe or don't get sniped by a 4 damage boom bot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big win for Trump if he does manage to.
Oh, you know, these boom bots have been 2 and 3 and 1 damage all day. I've yet to see a 4 damage boom bot.
We actually saw 2 4 damage in a row earlier today.
Oh, you're right.
But those were the only 2 4s, and they happened
back to back. Pretty wild stuff. Another 2 damage one.
That's actually fantastic boom bots for Trump. He keeps both of his armor smiths alive, and he's able to gain quite a bit of health from that. Effective health.
Well, now it just seems like a very natural progression to just start climbing back. And again, Trump's low on cards. This is where stuff like having the Acolytes or even Harrison Jones to draw is like so potent, because now you just don't line up your removal optimally. Like, how do you address this turn now? Baron Geddon doesn't get much done. Shield Slam on the Sludge Belcher is not what you want. You want it on a Giant.
When you're using a removal, plus putting out like a threat every turn, and not having any like innate draw, and the Warlock is like putting out one threat and drawing 2 cards a turn, unless you do find a way to draw, which you're pretty much limited to what? Shield blocks, which is basically just a cycle, or getting value out of Acolytes. Then you can run out of juice, run out of gas really quickly as a warrior. It's a very fine line.
Do you think there's justification to just passing? Oh. Oh, well, he does. And in his mind, he just has nothing else to do.
Yeah, he doesn't have really the cards to be...
Wow.
To be liberal with the things that he has right now, just on a Sludge Belcher.
Well, I'd feel great if I was Amy.
He just passed? Yeah, that's fantastic.
Well, he's also at 50 health. Trump's going to have 49 effective HP after this gets taken out. But then you have a Twilight Drake.
I feel like the health doesn't matter too much unless you get to fatigue.
Well, it often gets to the point where Handlock is like very low health at like the low teens, and then starts taking fatigue damage, and Warriors at like 30.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where legendaries like Alexstrasza are surprisingly effective in the matchup. It's another threat that does a lot of damage. Does sometimes more damage than Ragnaros, because Ragnaros does 8, and then Alexstrasza can do 15 plus.
Yeah. And you can control where it goes, like instantly, without having to worry about Rag like hitting something stray. But usually decks that run Alexstrasza also run Rag in tandem. Just naturally.
Well, it seemed like Sludge Belcher already proved to be quite annoying. How about another Sludge Belcher?
Let me hit you with another one. But is that really the best option?
I think so. I don't like Ragnaros as much. He'll have 7 armor remaining, and he just can armor up Shield Slam. I think Sludge Belcher is very good compromise.
Just gonna eat the Death Bite though.
That's okay.
You want to get that charge out on something.
And you know what? I even put out an Ancient Watcher as well. You can silence your Ancient Watcher to pressure next turn. If you silence your own Ancient Watcher and then lower the health and he attacks into it, then he'd have 12 armor, 11 armor with the attack. No, actually, no matter what, he'll still be able to Shield Slam Ragnaros. There's just too much armor. No matter how much you cut it. This is where the armor count really does matter.
Okay, well, Trump's starting to take the initiative, has a clean board now, but his armor's whittling away. Magicamy has a lot of answers at her disposal. And Trump still is just low on cards. He still just does not have too much. I mean, he's got Grommash Cruel Taskmaster, which is actually a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Because he would have lethal next turn if there's no wall put up. He knows there's no more Sludge Belchers left. He knows that she won't have Molten Giants this turn, and plus a taunt. So Siphon Soul would be an option, but she does not have Siphon Soul.
No. I do think the wall option might be her best bet here.
Mountain Giant. Ancient Watcher. Sunfury Protector. Even Earthen Ring Farseer. It seems like a little bit overkill though. If you're going to wall, you don't really need to.
Yeah, Mountain Giant plus the Ancient Watcher is fine. It's a good enough wall. Ragnaros plus the Sunfury Protector. Has it already come down to this? If this misses, she's dead.
Oh,
okay.
Not quite.
Die. That plot twist.
Oh, well, it hits face. That gets rid of the
armor.
Shield Slam.
Yep. You still can effectively kill with Shield Slam anyways. Just need to toss and Baron Geddon. Wow, that's actually something I didn't consider. Ragnaros plus the Iron Beak Owl. That's actually very clever. Because now Trump can't kill him. Normally you do the 12 damage from Gromosh plus Cool Taskmaster. And then you just let the effect of Baron getting kill.
That's what you were talking about yesterday, handlocks. You have the knife at their nose, but you just can't connect. You're always so close to killing a handlock, especially as Control Warrior.
But now, like, Baron Geddon can't fart on the board anymore. He's constipated.
No, he is. He's constipated, and his X-Lax is he left it in his work locker.
Hey, check this out. Do you see it? Baron Geddon's silence is perfectly caressed by the silk laces around him.
Wow.
It's actually like a spell circle,
yeah.
like a ritual circle, but I like calling it like a red velvet lace. But
And it actually looks like.
it like perfectly caresses his very muscular body.
What do you call that vest of bullets that like Rambo wears?
Bullet vest?
No, a bandolier. Came from my brain.
Yeah, but it's not even over his shoulders because he's so swole. It's like over his biceps.
He looks like if Rambo like was molten, like a molten Rambo.
He looks like what Lothar would be if he was made into a Hearthstone card.
Yup.
Well, actually, Lothar does have legs. He doesn't skip leg day. Let's be real now. Sludge Belcher, pretty annoying. But now Magicamy has gotten some indirect confirmation that Trump couldn't deal with big Ragnaros easily with like a big game hunter. He floated 3 mana. I think now it's like an opportunity for you to set up defensive wall.
Ooh, this plays are on Brawl.
Ah, I like it.
Awesome.
And shoots down the Sludge Belcher. Still a little inconvenient. Oh.
Danger.
Yeah, lots of danger.
Well, Rag is a risky play, but
it is.
You could guarantee no steal from Sylvanas, and then have a 33% chance, 0.3.
Repeating, of course.
Repeating, of course, to hit the Rag. If you just throw in the slime wherever you want, kill the Sylvanas, plop down a Rag. Molten Giants are already cheap.
I mean, you don't have to do all that. You can just suicide into Rag, shield slam it, and then play Ragnaros yourself. Right? If you suicide into your opponent's Ragnaros and then just shield slam and then Ragnaros yourself, it's still actually a very good sequence.
Yep.
I think that's what Trump's thinking about doing here.
Okay.
And by doing so, whatever it hits, he's somewhat okay with, because even if he hits the face, he's still setting up for a potential strong kill, because his opponent can't Jirax's and answer. Oh, what a draw.
Gooby just got a 5-3 arena run.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So he got a 7 run, he got a 3 run, and he got a 5 run?
Yeah.
So he's on average an average arena player.
Yeah.
Because 5 is like 5 wins in arena gets you your money's worth.
Yeah.
7 gets your money back. And then 3...
You need to rethink your life choices.
Well, I mean,
No,
your draft choices specifically.
Yeah. One damage off once again. Just toying.
Somebody cue the music. Trump's 1 damage off lethal.
Oh man.
Silence on the Sylvanas. This is what Magicamy saved her Iron Beak Owl for. Oh man. So silence, and then I guess you have to kill the giant. But the nice thing is then you can heal the giant. You are playing with fire because You have a big board for Brawl, but then you have double Moltens. Oh my! Now you don't have to Farseer anymore.
Yep.
What a tap! I was not expecting a life tap considering that she would float below, but it's perfect now considering the circumstances.
Yeah, I had multiple ways to get back up as well.
Unless she wants Trump to Brawl.
Yeah, this would prompt a Brawl. She's flooding the board a little more. It makes Brawl a little bit more enticing. So
Fiery War Axe. So Magicamy got Trump. She convinced him to Brawl. Trump gets the best case scenario, and now he sets up an opportunity to kill Magicamy with just weapon damage alone. He's also attacking in case her Magicamy had another way to heal, like Siphon Soul.
But now that Brawl is down, 1 mana Molten Giants, a big wall could come down here.
Yeah. I think you double Molten. Oh my gosh.
Just go for it.
Yeah. That is just so much. 3 Giants. It's like a family reunion. Trump's like, what?
Like, what do I do? Yeah, it's...
Oh
not
man, he
not
just used Brawl. No. Uh-oh.
I mean, he's still alive, but it's...
Is he? Is he going to be alive for much longer?
Well, for the next turn. It's 24, 28. Draxus, 31.
This is unwinnable. Like, Trump used his Brawl. I mean, Amy baited that perfectly.
Unless there's a second Brawl, which I think is very unlikely. We saw a lot of Trump's deck earlier on. You just don't really have too much room for 2 Brawls anymore.
Right. And it seems like this matchup has become so distant from Jiraxis. Like, usually Handlock players don't play Jiraxis anymore against Warrior, which is so funny because Jiraxis was one of the win conditions against Warrior for so long.
Now it's a liability.
Everyone realized Harrison was really good.
Well, Harrison Jones was tough to fit into a lot of decks in the past as well, just because Control Warrior wasn't as popular. There was a lot of other...
Well, specifically what made it hard was Jiraxis wasn't a popular card in most Warlock
decks.
That's true. Most people that played Warlock didn't have time to play Jiraxis. Yeah. They most often topped at Giants and then like a 6-mana minion like Sunwalker. That was back in the day.
Yeah.
Well,
that wasn't that far long ago though.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't that far along.
Yeah.
I think now you're still afraid to play Jiraxis, right? But if you do, you still get to put out 6/6 Infernos.
Why would you be afraid to play Jiraxis?
Is that a troll?
Tell them why.
Oh, because yeah, Harrison Jones might come in and cut your paws off.
Yeah. We did see Trump had 12 cards left in his deck, so he'd still be very, very safe to play it. I just don't... yeah, there's just not much point to play Jiraxis.
Well, other than to feel epic.
Yeah, but feeling epic at risk of giving your opponent 7 cards is
the board is rumbling so much.
And will Magicamy find opportunities to BM, to throw it back in Trump's face?
I mean, she's so close to killing him, but Trump is also pretty close. That big game hunter, not that bad of a draw, honestly.
No, not at all.
But he can't do anything without giving up his entire hand and just barely surviving. That's going to do it, and Magicamy equalizes the series, sending it to Game 5.
And
which means we're going to see Control Warrior versus Handlock one more time. Likely. It's not guaranteed, but I'm saying it could happen.
Yeah, most likely. In the Legendary Series in the past 5 weeks prior to this one, the majority of the time in blind pick, if it goes to a game 5, both players choose the exact same decks. There has